T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, this might be a little bit of a special thing because this is not a little photo walk, but it's a kind of a special one that can be debated. Anyway, a local museum, the county museum, if I put it like that, Länsmuseet, has actually been closed for about a year or so for repairs and some modernization and so on. And yeah, you know, just a little bit of a facelift. So they have actually just opened again for, you know, visitors, and it happens to be so that first of all you can the entrance is free, so it's free entrance, and secondly I watched and looked this up on their website and everything, and it says that you are allowed to take photos and so on, so there is no restrictions for bringing a camera. The only restrictions they had is there is no flash photography allowed, so you can only use the ambient light in the museum exhibit halls. You can't use any flash, and you can't bring a tripod because that would be that you're a professional. But anyway, so I took the Nikon D7200 with me to take some images, and what I had was the Tokina 28 to 70 millimeter f2.8 and the Samyang 8 millimeter fisheye. So I think the Samyang, I believe it's a 3.5 maximum aperture, and the Tokina, as I said, was is a 2.8. But also regard that the D7200 is a crop sensor camera. I believe that the 8mm Samyang fisheye is made more or less for crop sensor bodies, but yeah, you can you know that you need to multiply it with 1.5 in order to get the proper focal length. So anyway, I went to the museum and I used the little Panasonic action cam on top of the D7200, and I actually took some video with the D7200 as well with the fisheye lens. So I think that we're just gonna cut now to my little visit to the museum. Bear in mind we're still end of November when I'm filming this, so this push broom is still around, but soon it's out of here. But anyway, I think I'm gonna do a few episodes that I have done a couple of episodes, so you will see this a little bit in December as well, unfortunately. But anyway, we're gonna just stop now, and I'm just gonna cut over to the B-roll for the museum, and I'll do some voiceover from that with a little bit about the artists and so on. So take care from now on, and I'll see you in the next video, so bye. Okay, so I am back, and I took the bus or collective traffic to the train station in order to get to a bus stop that is fairly close to the museum. It's just a couple of 100 meters from it, I would reckon. And yeah, here we have the building itself, the communal museum, and yeah, we'll just go inside and I'll see you then. Okay, so after leaving my jacket in the wardrobe, you can see that the first thing that strikes you is this gigantic gingerbread house, which is, I believe, a yearly tradition in this museum. Okay, so here's the first. I don't think this is a permanent exhibition. This is Knut Wester. It's a Swedish artist that I think now lives in Manhattan, New York, and he has done all of these sculptures that are actually cast sculptures of people in his neighborhood. So I thought these can be a little bit of an interesting, you know, with the lighting and the shadows of it. So also keep in mind that as I've stated on numerous times, I'm a huge Trey Ratcliffe fan, so I'm actually, you know, combining normal stills photography and a little bit of HDR. I also used the camera, the D7200. I will set it on ISO 6400 for you guys who are interested in such things, and I usually use mostly auto, but I also used some aperture priority, and I switched a little bit back and forth between the Tokina 28 to 70 and the 8mm Samyang fisheye. So yes, I think that yeah, you'll just see a little bit around in the exhibition halls. Keep in mind some of them are are permanent installations and some of them are not, like this one that is just a temporary exhibition. I think it's into the beginning of January 2018 this is going to be. But anyway, we're just going to go up to the the first floor. First you have the ground floor, and this is the first floor. And here we actually have a little bit of photography equipment in this museum. It's about a local photographer who lived here. And he was a royal court photographer, and yeah, Carl Larsson. And don't mix him up with the Swedish impressionist painter, or rather the landscape painter Carl Larsson. They were both named the same thing, but one was a painter and this one was a photographer. So you can see his this is his car, an Oldsmobile made in Detroit, USA, from the beginning of the 1900s. And yeah, you should see, I thought it would be a photogenic subject, but as you can see here, you have a black room with a black car in it, so it's a little bit tricky to get a good exposure on it, but I think I managed fairly decently. But keep in mind, there will be a lot of noise in these pictures, because it is not a well-lit museum, and I'm not allowed to use any flash or any tripod, so you have to use a little bit of ISO compensation in this one, or whatever one should call it. But anyway, you will hear from me shortly, and enjoy the ride. Alright, then we're now at the second floor, and I think this is more the permanent installation, or the beginning of it. As you can see here, it's both paintings and sculptures, and I think most of these are from around the same area as Gävle, so it's a lot of, not local, but county-wide artists, and it's from every type of time era. This is more classical paintings and sculptures. I know it's going to be a little bit modernism as well, but these are a little bit more of the old school art that this museum has on permanent display. And what I actually counted myself a bit lucky when I went, because apart from me and a group of retired people, basically I think it was some kind of PRO, or Pensionärernas Riksorganisation type deal that was here. It's basically the Swedish version of the Grey Panthers in the US. But anyway, the museum was practically empty, so I could roam about at my own leisure and take images of whatever I thought was interesting, because there wasn't many other people here. So I think I kind of picked a great day to come and visit, because for me, as wanting to take photographs and videoing, I didn't have to really, I could pace myself, so I didn't have any other people to, really have to bother with in order to get a good image and frame it up at my own leisure. But anyway, here we come into the more modernist paintings, and yeah, I think I'll just shut up for a while now and let you enjoy the scenery, so you'll hear from me shortly. Okay, so now we're actually entering a room of... this room is dedicated to one of the city's most famous artists, internationally acclaimed artist, Gunnar Syrén. And this guy was basically a really great sculptor and designer for cutlery, you know, like knives, forks, spoons, plates, glasses, goblets, anything like that. For instance, to show how important this one has become both nationally and internationally, to give you a few examples. First of all, when they have the dinner after the Nobel Prize ceremony every December, which is not that far away from where we are now, they always use his designed glassware or tableware, whatever you want to call it, cutleries. It's always this particular artist that it's his stuff. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He died a few years ago, but just have a look at the glassware that this museum has collected of Gunnar Syrén, and it's amazing. We actually have a little bit of a family history with Gunnar Syrén. Actually, my grandfather was a jazz drummer, and Syrén was known to be a jazz saxophone player. And my grandfather and Syrén actually played in the same jazz trio, so we have had a little bit of personal connection to this artist, so that's a little bit of a neat thing, at least for me, because I really enjoy this guy's design and craftsmanship. So also there is one display piece here. I think I have a little bit of video on it, not any good. Yeah, these glasses here with the golden rims, these were actually special ordered by former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. And keep in mind, I'm not here to debate politics or something like that. It's just a matter of fact that the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton ordered glassware from this famous artist. But anyway, I think I should, leave you to enjoy the pictures and the walk through the museum. Okay, so now we have actually reached the top floor of the museum, the loft, and here's a little bit of an interesting combination. Partly, they have the real modernist or postmodernist sculptures and paintings up here at the top floor, and also I took a quick peek in. You can see the opening there to the left. They have a little bit of a textile archive here at the top floor, and it's a little bit interactive, or whatever you want to call it, because the visitors can actually browse through the archive and find all types of patterns and textile patterns that they have samples here from a long line of textiles and so on, but for me that's not really my top interest. But yeah, for anybody who is interested in that sort of thing, it is here. So yeah, I thought I'll do a 45 shot of the room here with the fisheye, so you can see how it looks. Yeah. There we go. A little bit of lens flare, whatever you want to call it, some orbs there at the top, but still, I think it actually gave it a neat effect. Yeah, I also like the shadow on the floor for this one. But anyway, these are a little bit more modernistic ones, and either you like it or you don't, but I kind of like these things. I think they're very inspirational, you know, because even when I was walking around here, I actually started to think not just about what I was looking at, but also how can I, you know, how are these photogenic? Because you want to have it so much that, yeah, for this one, for instance, that red picture of the pig lady in the back and this more anorexic supermodel statue in the foreground. I thought I framed that one up quite nicely, actually, if I do say so myself. But anyway, I will leave you to enjoy the museum tour, and I'll talk to you soon, so bye for now. Okay, so now we're actually down again to a part of the museum I didn't show you before, because in the second room in here, there were actually a tour when I was here the first time round, so I thought that, yeah, I'll just pace myself, go up and see the other parts of the exhibit, and just come back to this place when it was vacant. So, yeah, now you can see, and these are some of the oldest images that they have, and a little bit more difficult, in my opinion, to depict and do them justice, because these are types of works that you can't really just photograph them. You really need to see them in the flesh, so to speak. And yeah, I know that's an old cliche, but anyway, these are beautiful works of art. These are the really old stuff, and yeah, they're just stunning. The you know, the craftsmanship on these, the painter's craftsmanship, it's completely superb in my opinion. So if you're ever in Gävle, I would deeply recommend this museum. I know they've gotten a lot of flack before because as they're new, they're niching themselves more to be an art museum, while before the renovation they were more focused on being some more of a what should we call it, a historic museum for the, you know, this county. So they were more about how people lived here before, disasters that had occurred, and so on. So they were more, you know, like historically niched, but now they're more art niched. But I really enjoy it, because now they have art exhibitions that are both permanent, and they have exhibitions that are, you know, non-permanent. But anyway, I think I will shut up now and let you enjoy. Yes, dear viewer, now we're actually at the end of this tour, and as you can see, it's the end of November, early beginning of December, so it's pitch dark, even though the time was about a little bit after 4 in the afternoon. So yes, this was the National, or rather the County Museum of Gävle, yeah, that's all for me for now. So if you have any comments or questions about it, don't hesitate to put it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So as always, this is Tobias Bergström from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I would really love to see you guys in the next video. So as always, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, this is just me walking over Gavleån towards the old Grand Hotel to catch the bus and going home. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.